for getting paid. Straight cash on me, getting paid. I agree. CP3 should stay in Houston with the Warriors. Injuries, says my pops. Happy Father's Day again to all the fathers out there, all the ones listening, joining in. Now D'Antoni coach them it's the real question. Now, can D'Antoni coach them? Great question, said Galloway. I think the answer is no. Even though they're supposedly talking about a possible extension, squash that noise. See what happens after this year. I think this is the last year possibly of his deal. But D'Antoni teams, I've said this so many times, I'm tired of saying it, but it's the truth. D'Antoni teams do not win championships. They do not. They play great in the regular season. They play great halfway through the playoffs, or maybe the first or second series of the playoffs. But guess what happens after that? They don't do anything. They do not do anything in the playoffs long term. So my answer is no. No, do not bring D'Antoni back. Do not sign him to an extension. What is signing him to an extension do for your team? Does it dramatically make you better? Does it make you win a championship next year? Probably not. Even with or without D'Antoni, you still may not win a championship, but at least give yourself a chance. And guess who's out there? Well, Jason Kidd isn't out there anymore. He's actually with the Lakers, but he's an assistant. So you can definitely make him your head coach if you wanted to. Also, not to mention, our good friend Mark Jackson is still out there and available. There's a lot of coaches that are out there and available. So don't make an excuse that D'Antoni is the best that we have. No, he's not. There's other people out there that you can grab. CP3 is like Melo, just getting paid. Melo, I said this, Mo Cheese, I'm going to give him credit because I think he probably said it first, that Melo will be coming to the Lakers. They were already thinking / contemplating about it last year. So this year, you add Anthony Davis, you still have LeBron. Why not bring him in for the Lolo? Why not bring him in? Why not? He is hooping in a beanie right now at Club Fitness. He is hooping in a beanie at Lifetime Fitness right now. And he is not strapped for money. So Lakers, Mo Cheese, all the Lakers fans, do whatever you got to do to hit up somebody in that organization. Probably not Pelinka, because I don't trust Pelinka. But whoever else you need to hit up to make sure, bring Melo on this team. And if there was some kind of way you could get CP3, which is the money, and they don't have any assets anymore to try to trade. So unless they give up the other picks that they had in those in-between years, D'Antoni teams struggle in the playoffs because defense becomes increasingly important the further you go. Facts, Sluggo. And teams that don't play defense do not win championships. And his teams are always the first one to 120 wins. That's probably how he coaches. He probably writes it down on the clipboard. It's probably in everybody's locker. Get to 120. Shout out to DJ Knox in the building. Let all the listeners know you're scheduled to be on at 3:30. Let us all know if you'll be on at regular scheduled time. Also, we have the greatest coming on later on tonight at 8 Central or 8 Eastern time. So make sure to tune in, giving you some great music. So make sure to tune in, like I said. So other news that I wanted to get to, classy move by the Golden State Warriors. There's a lot of people that are sore losers. There's a lot of people that will probably try to sucker punch you because they beat you in a game of Madden, okay? But the Golden State Warriors put a full page ad in today's Star Sports section, which is in Toronto. Shout out to them for doing that, number one. Number two, you could be as salty as you want, but you lost. The Warriors lost fair and square. They didn't have a lot of players. They didn't use that as an excuse. They lost. So, I mean, plain and simple. But for them to put an ad in the paper in Toronto, I think is a stand-up approach to dealing with losing. And I think every kid needs to see this because you're not going to win you're not going to win them all. I used to hate hearing, my parents or my coach or somebody say that, but it's the truth. You're not going to win them all. If you won them all, you would be perfect, and nobody's perfect. But stand-up effort, stand-up approach for the Warriors, putting that in the paper. All right, so we're going to take a break. When we get back, we're going to talk about this Dak conversation. We're going to talk about his potential contract, and I want to hear what everybody has to say. Do you think he should get this amount of money? When I get back, I'll talk about it. You're tuned into the Weekend Wrap-Up Show, X Squad Radio, and we will be right back.
We all hate when we have unexpected car problems. Well, I am here to tell you about a viable solution. Bay 11 Auto and my man Melvin. You have emission problems? Brakes need changing? Transmission slipping? Is your car just driving sluggish? No problem is too big. I live on the other side of town and I drive over an hour to a guy that I trust. Melvin is honest, dependable, and definitely not in the business to break your pockets. Come see the official mechanic Melvin at Bay 11 Auto. You will be glad you did. You can reach him at 1455 General Arts Road, Conyers, Georgia, or 404-295-5715. That's 404-295-5715.
Being good at life means getting your finances together so you can focus on the moments that matter most. With over 170 years of expertise, New York Life Insurance Company provides you with benefits you can enjoy while you're, living. So give me, Doug Stewart, your local New York Life agent, a call. I can help you build a solid financial future to help you and your family be good at life. You can reach me at 678-770-8073 or look for me at NewYorkLife.com.
Welcome back to the Weekend Wrap-Up Show, episode number 132. 132. Applause to Rich Paul. I would suggest again, like I said, go and look at the clients that Rich Paul has. A lot of them are former LeBron teammates. Some of them are players from the Lakers. Some of those are players from the Heat and from the Cavs. Shout out again to LeBron and helping his family get on, family and friends. Shout out to H-Rap B. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so the story is starting to increase on Dak Prescott. He could potentially make $34 million on average. There is a lot of people backing him. Michael Irvin comes out and says you need to pay this guy. If the longer you wait, the worse it gets. You look at Carson Wentz just getting his deal. And this is my thing. It doesn't necessarily matter if he deserves it. I think he does deserve it based on his projection, based on where he is in his fourth year. But also, where's the market at? That's what people fail to talk about. Where is the market? If Carson Wentz just got $30 million a year, Dak is equal to, a little bit less than or greater than Wentz, or Dak, comparing him to Wentz. So it's about the market. And in this market, that is what the running rate is. So either the Cowboys pay it or somebody else pay it. Somebody's going to pay it. I think the Cowboys are in love with Dak, so I'm not doubting. I think they are going to pay it. And I think it comes down to the pennies and how much they're going to be willing to go along with this for however how long they plan on running this out. But I think he should get it. And I think you're not necessarily just paying him for what he's done, but you're going to be paying him for what he's getting ready to do. And what he's done has already been great, considering he's a 4th round pick. And Courtney says, Wentz set the standard. You have to pay your QB. And I think they're going to make the deal. It's just a matter of when. It needs to be before this year because I don't want to wait till the end of next year. They got time. But it's a large part of it is the market. So when you hear wide receivers and running backs arguing that they want to get paid this much, it's about the market, comparing themselves to what somebody else is getting paid. So let me know. How do you guys feel about Dak with this contract? Do you think he should get paid or should not get paid? H-Rap, I already know your answer. H-Rap B, end of the bench. Had a show this past Saturday. Going to be doing the show tomorrow, right after mine's, the Dope Music Podcast tomorrow at 2 Eastern. And who else is better out there too? Like if you want to start over and get a quarterback out of the draft, he's not going to be up to speed. You're playing a gamble, and you're not going to have any clue what you have. All that is potential. All that is a possibility. And you know what you have in Dak. And you know, or at least you have to believe he's going to get better. John Kitna wasn't one of the greatest players in the world, but John Kitna is dropping some knowledge on Dak. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of Kellen Moore. I don't even know what he's going to bring to the table, but I do know it's not going to be the same old that we've seen in previous years. So that's going to also work to Dak's advantage. So pay the man. I'm with it. My biggest concern, like I've said numerous times, is how are you going to be able to keep him and Amari Cooper and Zeke? How are you going to do that? And if they're able to do that, if they're able to figure out a way to do that, I would be elated. I would be beyond happy if they would somehow be able to finagle all that in. But Dak has proven on and off the field that he is a stand-up guy, that he is consistent. You don't see him getting into any off-the-field issues. You see him giving his all. Yes, he does make mistakes. Yes, there is a lot of instances where he may overthrow some guys, and I don't think that stuff can be corrected. I think that stuff can be fixed. The Cowboys deserve a Rosen-type QB if they don't want to pay Dak. I agree, man. And that's what they're going to get, though. If you don't pay Dak, you're going to get somebody in the draft. And guess what? That could be a Josh Rosen. That could be a Sam Darnold. That could be the kid with the Browns. That could be any one of those guys. That could be any Ram. That could be a Ryan Leaf, for all that they know. And Baker Mayfield. That could be a Baker Mayfield, but you don't know. At least you know what you have. And again, like I said, the Cowboys are in love with Dak, so they're going to make this deal happen. Either way it goes, and it's gonna happen. I think before the season starts. I think it'll happen before the season starts. Congratulations to U.S. Open winner Gary Woodland. He held off Justin Rose, Brooks Koepka to win the 119th U.S. Open. This is his first major championship. So shout out to Gary Woodland. Able to get your first championship on a big stage. Tiger finished 2 back.